Hello and welcome to the Private Practice Podcast. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and with nearly 30 years experience in the industry, I'm really excited to share practical insights, valuable wisdom, and all the tools that you need to build a thriving private practice. So whether you're a counsellor, psychologist, social worker, or play therapist, this podcast is all about keeping it real with stories, strategies, and all the support you need to help you flourish in business. We're going to be embracing a mind, business, spirit approach, diving into honest conversations that will uplift your practice and soul. And if you haven't already, come and join us in the Counsellors Connect Australia Facebook group. It's totally free and you'll find a warm, supportive community of like-minded professionals. So go grab your favorite drink, your journal, a pen, get cozy, and let's dive into the mind, business, spirit approach to private practice that you've been looking for. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Private Practice Podcast. I am so pleased that you're here. Today I just thought I'd give you a quick behind the scenes of what life is like at the moment when you're launching a program or a service or a product or an offer in your private practice, because that's exactly what I'm doing now. And do you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm sick of everybody online making it look easy and not being fully transparent and showing you exactly what it's like behind the scenes. So I'll do that as we go along. So I'll do that for you today. But just before we dive into that, I did promise you that I would give you an update on the income, because if you listen to the last episode, you would remember there was like a breakdown. For those of you who missed it, you go back and listen, but I'll just give you the down and dirty. But basically, a while ago, I realized I wanted to increase my income. I was actually able to double my income. So last week, I exceeded that income goal again. So it's now been 4 weeks, a month. The first week, I hit the income goal. The second week, I halved it. The third week, I exceeded it. And this week that we just had, I exceeded it. So how's it feeling? Am I feeling like excited and elated and over the moon and da-da-da-da-da? No, I'm actually feeling calm. I feel like it's my new normal. It just feels really, just normal. Like, why wouldn't I be manifesting that kind of income for the business, or revenue for the business rather? Why wouldn't I? Like, it just feels normal. And this is what I was saying to you before in that previous episode around identity. It's really around how you see yourself. Your self-image is going to determine what you experience in the practice. But anyways, that's a little update for you. I'll give you another update on Saturday next week. Because I'm curious, like some of you are, I was going to say some of you have been mentioning to me that you want to be able to do it as well. So if you want to increase your income, you can hear how I'm doing it, how I did it, how I continue to do it in that last episode. I break it all down for you. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I want to talk with you about what it's looking like for me launching something. So this is a great episode for you to listen to if you're somebody who is wanting to run a workshop, or you've tried to run a workshop, you've created something, you've put it all together, you did your marketing and no one signed up. This is for you. If you created an online program or a digital course, or a bundle of something or a package of something, and you put it out there and no one bought, this is for you. I will tell you exactly why no one's buying. It's because you don't know that you need to actually launch. You don't know that you need to do it, and you don't know what it is, and you don't know what's involved, and all those kinds of things. So without that knowledge, you're doing what you think you should, which is you're pouring your heart and soul into creating something that you really love and that you believe in and that you know can help, and then you're sharing it on your Instagram, in an email, and on your Facebook or whatever, and then you're saying, the workshop's on next Saturday at 2:00 and no one buys a ticket, right? This is for you. You're not launching. So I want to explain to you what it is, and I want to give you like a peek over my shoulder, if you like, so that you can kind of see what it looks like. Now, if you are in the More Clients marketing program, you have access to launch dashboards. These launch dashboards are made for you in Google Sheets. they're clickable. So all you need to do is watch the training on how to launch, choose the right launch style for you, because there are so many different ways that you can launch. Choose the right launch style for you, and then all you're going to do is click the link to that particular launch style, and you will see all the processes there, plus your templates, plus your timeline, everything. So I've made it super duper easy. If you follow those launch plans, those done for you launch plans, you will be able to make money before you even run your workshop or your course or your webinar or whatever it is that you're doing, your retreat. So they're all there for you. The other thing that's there for you, or well, not there yet, it's going to be there, is I have decided this time around, and I've not done this before, but I'm taking launching very seriously after what happened in the April launch for the private practice certification, because it just went so well. And I really regretted not having documented everything that I was doing. I really regretted not documenting the lessons. I really regretted not documenting what didn't work. So I'm just having to try and remember and recall things as we go along. So I thought this time with this launch, although it's a different program, I'm using the same launch process. I'm going to document everything, and I'm going to add that to the launch plan for launching with a workshop, so that anybody who wants to do it will have a document there, again with clickable links, so you can see exactly over my shoulder what I'm doing, what worked, what didn't, and what I'll do differently for the next launch, right? So total transparency, and just making your life so much easier, because you're not going to have to go and create anything. It's been done for you. So that being said, let me just kind of give you a background. So I decided that I'm only going to launch once a quarter. So the two programs that I launch are either the private practice certification, so that's April, and then again in October, and the More Clients program, which used to be called Marketing Essentials, which used to be called Marketing with Soul, which used to be called Clients on Demand, which used to be called the Fully Booked marketing program or something. So yeah, it's had upgrade after upgrade after upgrade, and I've never charged any of my students for any of the upgrades, right? Once you work with me, you get upgrades galore included, because I love to over deliver, and I love to make sure that you've got the latest techniques and tools so that you know that what you're doing works. Anyway, I will add this in, as I said. So I am launching now the More Clients program. My launch strategy is to use a workshop to do that. And I am currently on day 0. So day 0 is like the day before it all gets going and gets started. And I woke up this morning and I just felt like this real mixture of anxiety, but like good anxiety. Do you know what I mean? It kind of feels like the anxiety of Christmas Eve. Like, you know how you just get like super excited about, I don't know, even now I'm 49 years old, but I still get super excited on Christmas Eve. I almost can't sleep. And it's just, yeah, it's the best feeling, but I'm anxious and I've got butterflies and I can't settle. I haven't had breakfast. And I'm just like keyed up, and it's just, I don't know, I'm giddy. I kind of feel scattered, yet I've never been better organized. Yeah, I'm just in a really, really good space, but I need to try and contain myself. I thought, oh, maybe I will take Buddy for a walk, but I can't do it to him. It's only 5 degrees outside, and I just, even with a little jacket on, no, I'm not going to put him through that. So what I will do for Buddy is we will do some school later on, which will be great for him, and it'll be great for him because it'll tire him out cognitively. But for me, I've decided I'm going to clean my bathroom. So I've got out the bleach, that's doing its thing as we speak. And also going to vacuum, and I'm just going to I decluttered my office a little while ago, but I can do it again. I'm just going to give everything another wipe over, sage the place, all of that sort of fun stuff, because otherwise, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sit in front of this computer, pressing the enter button all day long to refresh things, so that I make sure that if anybody asks a question, it gets answered and things like that, you know? Anyway, So much fun. So it's day 0. I decided that I would open up the doors I made a pop-up group for everybody who's coming to the free workshop, and that's where they'll get a lot of their content. Some of the other content is in the course portal, so they can just go in and grab it down there as well. There have been hundreds of people enroll, and I think at the moment there's about 107 people in the group, which is normal. So as you've heard from other episodes, the number of people who register for things and buy courses and stuff like that, versus the number of them that actually join the community, it's very small. Like the number of people who join communities, for me, it's very, very small compared to the number of people that register. So I'm sitting on about 25% in the group at the moment, but we'll see how that goes over the next few days. The other thing that I'm doing in terms of documenting is I will just minimize GarageBand so I can show you, well, not show you, but tell you exactly what I'm doing. Now, even now, right, I've just gone out of GarageBand, I've gone into Google, and my first instinct is to hit refresh on Facebook. So I'll try not to, because otherwise I'll be typing and talking, and I don't want to do that. I want to pay attention. So here's what I'm tracking. I've decided to make, forgive me if I just said this, but I'm all over the place at the moment. I've decided to make a document where I'm tracking everything that I'm doing. So that document's going to have all the clickable links in it, and the clickable links are to things like my numbers. So I'm tracking everything with my numbers, from how I promoted the workshop, to how I promoted the program, to the number of registrants, to number of drop-ins, dropouts, to number of upsells, downsells, all of that. So I'm keeping a document there of all the numbers. I'm also keeping a document there of the marketing strategies that I'm using within the launch strategy. And I'm also documenting my launch plan. And the reason that I'm doing this as well is because, as I think I mentioned a moment ago, I really regretted not having done this properly with the private practice certification workshop that we did last quarter. So I really want to make sure I've got something documented properly this time so I can learn from it, do a proper debrief, but also because I want to get better at launching, and part of that for me is going to be outsourcing. So if I can keep track of things while I'm doing them, I'm not going to be relying on memory later on. Like, what did I do? What do I need to outsource? At least I'll have a document that I can look at with a clear head in a month's time. And from that space, I'll be able to say, okay, these are the things that I need somebody to do for me. This is the timeline, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing, and it feels really, 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 really good to be able to do that. Tomorrow is day 1, and one of the things that I've done is, because we've got people from all over the world that are joining. So this was something that was really exciting that happened with the last launch as well. We had people from the UK, Canada, there were people there like from Hawaii. It was so much fun to have the different accents and to have different people, and it just felt like, oh, this is like so exciting. Well, it's happened again, and so I thought, okay, I just want to try and keep a track of all of this. So much fun. I forgot what I'm going to say in case you hadn't noticed. So I'm going to go off on a tangent. But that's what I was going to say. So for that reason, I'm doing the staggered calls again. So there's going to be a live training on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and then one at lunchtime and then one in the morning. And that way I've covered all time zones. So it means everybody who comes along will be able to join live if they're not working and stuff like that, of course. So that feels really good to be able to do that, even though it's outside of the normal work hours that I like to work by. It was really important to me to make this free workshop accessible. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I'm doing the calls differently to how I did them in the certification as well, because I had quite a learning experience there. As I think last time I gave people all the resources and people downloaded them and stuff, but I'm not sure how many people actually implemented them or used them. And then the way that I was doing the live calls was very different as well. So, what I'm doing this time around is it's actually training. So, it's like education. It's like psychoeducation or marketing education, because what I'm aware of this time around with this particular challenge or struggle that my clients are having is there's a big knowledge gap and a big skills gap. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give them the resources so they can do everything, of course, but it's going to be, the live calls are actually going to be training. This is how you use the resource. This is what it's for. This is what you're going to do. And instead of giving Amazon gift cards and stuff like that just randomly, what I'm doing this time around is I really want to make sure people are implementing what they're learning, because without implementation, they're not going to get a result, right? They'll just come along, they'll be my energy, they'll like that for a while, and then when the workshop's over, it's just going to evaporate and disappear and they'll be back to life. I don't want that. I want them to actually have durable results, durable improvement, visible improvement in their numbers, their referrals, their income, all that kind of stuff. So I feel a sense of responsibility to help them with that. And maybe by giving training, instead of just sitting around and chatting for a couple of hours, if I actually give them training in the resource, why they need to do it, how they need to do it, what it is, and stuff like that, and have a incentive there for people who are going to implement, I think that that's going to be more effective in terms of helping them. And that's the big goal for me, to help. I love doing things free, but what I love more is when people implement and actually get a result. That's me creating my legacy. That's me creating my little ripple effect. And that's why I do this. This is my purpose, right? I love, love, love to see that. So that's just something new that I'm trying this time around, and we'll just see how it goes. The other thing that I'm tracking that I will include in my documentation is I thought I would do like how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and my self-care, because last time I didn't have any self-care in place while I was delivering the workshop for the private practice certification. And you may recall that it took me a good 10 days to recover. Just because I put so much energy into making sure that I deliver something and over deliver something that is super high quality. And it's exhausting, not in the moment because you're energized, but then when it's all over, it's like your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in and it's just like, okay, you can shut down now. And so my body shut down and I was just like, oh my gosh, I've got no energy, and I just wanted to blob around. I was just so tired. I didn't do things like I still saw a couple of clients, because I don't work with that many people one-to-one because I'm just so protective of my time. I saw a couple of clients, but I was lucky because I said to them, hey, can we bump our session to later in the week? They're very understanding. They are like me. They understand about energy, and like me, they would rather that I was in my best energy, because then I can give them the best guidance and help with their practices, rather than still have the appointment but me show up at only 50% with my battery charged, instead of my battery being charged at 100. So I'm lucky to work with people who are on the same page as me. So they got bumped to later in the week, but the first few days after the launch had finished, I just remember just feeling so exhausted. And I think even, don't quote me on this, but I think even I got like sick. I think maybe I came down with something. I can't remember. So I don't want that to happen. this time around. So I thought, well, if it's in my awareness that I look after myself, that'll help. So I want to track what I'm doing and what I would do differently. So one of the things that I've done is I've gone into my calendar and cancelled all my appointments for the following week. I think bar one or two. And they're clients who are very understanding. So if I need to move them, I'm sure that I could reach out, and I'm sure that they'd be super understanding. They'd be okay with that. But yeah, so I deleted a whole lot of commitments that I had in my diary, like just things like I like to make resources on a certain day of the week, and I like to record podcasts on a certain day of the week. So I'm just kind of removing as much as I can from the diary so I've got space, because even just looking at the diary and seeing that there's space is helpful for me. The other thing I was thinking of doing was going and having a float, because that really relaxes me. But I also recognize that's not a good strategy to use when I'm in the middle of the launch, because I need to have my wits about me. So I have booked a float for after the launch is over. I'm just going to take a day. I'm going to go and have a float on one day. The next day I've booked in for a massage. Do you know what I mean? The next day I'm going to go and take myself somewhere nice for lunch. All those kinds of things, just to like fill my cup again and get some of that energy back, like sleep in, have an early night, all those kinds of things. But now I'm kind of thinking, okay, what would healthy self-care look like for me during a launch that wasn't going to make me so relaxed that I'm not alert as to what's going on, and I'm missing notifications and stuff like that? What can I do that's going to help me maintain my energy without feeling drained? So yeah, one of the things I thought that I might do is I can put Buddy down for a nap, and maybe I could read my cards, or I could do some journaling and just see how I'm going. I can also do things like I can say a mantra or say a prayer and ask my guides, my archangels, source, universe, to help me maintain my energy and to remove things from my path that might drain it over the next few days and subsequent, and to bring me things that will keep my cup full. So I can definitely do stuff like that. Work with my crystals, of course. And for me, that just means like clearing the space energetically before the day, packing up at the end of the day. So this is a big thing, like actually shutting the computer down, wiping the desk down, making it clean and clear, just so that mentally I've got that demarcation of you're at work and now you're not at work. So putting, I guess, boundaries around all of that kind of stuff. But again, that's kind of hard because I know most people are going to be active in the groups in the evening. So this is what I mean. This is how it can take away from your time, because I know now, even though I don't normally work in the evening and I'm not available in the evenings, I know now that for the next week, I need to be on top of, you know, if somebody's asking a question, if somebody submitted something that they want some help with, I want to be there and I've got to be present for that. So how do I manage my downtime when I'm not really having downtime? So that's something that I know I need to look at. So all these kinds of things I'm documenting along the way so that we can see next time what to do differently and what to do so that, you know, there's a better result or a better outcome in terms of how I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and what I'm doing. I'm calming down as I'm talking to you. I think one of the other things that I should probably do is maybe even book a supervision session for myself, like bring it forward to the week I wrap up, which is next week. So that might be another act of self-care that I can do. If I need to, I know that I can bring it forward even to during the launch if something happens or I'm attuning to my stress and stuff like that. So okay, that's kind of like a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on. But now let me explain why you need to, like what launching is and why you need to do it and how it's going to help you to actually sell tickets or sign-ups or enrollments or whatever it is to whatever it is that you're selling through your practice. So a launch is a way of letting people who are new to your world and people who are already in your world know that you have something that might be of interest to them. And what you are going to do is usually, depending on the value, like depending on how much it's going to cost them to, buy or sign up or join or, whatever it is, there are different ways that you would launch. But for something usually that's $100 or more, you would probably launch with a workshop, okay? I'm doing a 3-day workshop because I know that's just what works for me and my audience. But you might choose to do just an afternoon workshop. Totally fine. The purpose of the workshop is to give people quick wins, right? So we want them to see that you know your stuff. We want them to see that what you do works, and we want them to have quick wins so that they feel confident that you know your stuff, and so that they're thinking then, wow, if this was what I got from the free stuff, what am I going to get when I sign up for her workshop or her program or her course or her bundle or whatever it is that you're selling? So that's the purpose of launch. And you must do this if you want to get people signing up. So let's imagine that you want to run a Saturday afternoon workshop for grief and loss. And your Saturday afternoon workshop is going to be online. And you're going to give them some psychoeducation about the cycle of grief. You're going to give them a meditation. They're going to get a journal, all those kinds of things. Now, without a launch, you're going to just make all this stuff. You're going to share it on your socials and maybe in an email, and probably not many people are going to join. And then you'll feel defeated probably, or horrible, or, just not great. If you followed a launch plan, you could fill that workshop up. So if you had 10 places, you could get your 10, no problem. What you're going to do is you'll do a workshop before the workshop. So you'll have a launch workshop that leads into your paid workshop. The launch workshop is a mini version. You're giving people a taste, you're giving them a sample. So, for example, if your paid workshop is going to teach them about all those things, then maybe your mini workshop teaches them about the cycle of grief. Make sense? So just a part. And you're going to put your heart and soul into this free workshop. And you're going to give people who register for it, you're going to over-deliver for them. You're going to make sure that they leave understanding what the cycle of grief is. And do you know what I mean? Give them anything extra that's going to be helpful for them. That's what you want to do. And then at the end of your workshop, you are going to invite anybody who's wanting to go further with their journey to come and join your workshop that's happening in 2 weeks' time on a Saturday afternoon, or it's happening next Saturday on a Saturday afternoon, right? And you know what? Most people aren't going to buy, but there will definitely be some that do. In fact, a conversion rate in our industry is usually between 1% and 2%. So you have to have, for every 100 people that come, you can count on, 1 or 2 people turning up and buying the paid version of your workshop. So you need to have the numbers. This is why in more clients, there's such an emphasis on teaching you strategies that will build your audience, right? If you think, oh, well, I've got 10 places and I want to sell 10 places, and if the average conversion rate in our industry is about 2%, 2 people out of every 100 join, then I know if I want 10 people to join, I've got to have 500 people register. Okay, so where are you going to get those 500 people? Because I tell you, they're not coming from your Facebook or your Instagram. So think about, how am I going to get those 500? Now, if you're in more clients, you've got strategies there that will get you those 500 people. Not a problem, right? It sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's totally doable. So that's why if you're not launching, if you're just advertising a paid workshop, you're really, really lucky if you get one or two people pay you. You're really, really lucky. And if you then go and cancel because you, air quotes, only had one or two people, I think you're mad. You should be jumping onto that with, so much love and so much gratitude. And I would be showing up for those one or two people and giving them the best experience ever, because it was just so amazing that they signed up. Really, it was. And we want to, of course, send the universe a message that, I love this and I want more people next time and stuff like that, right? So don't cancel if you only get one or two people. If you only get one or two people, it also means that they get a better experience with you because they get more of your time. And how amazing for them, how lucky for them. They're not going to care that there's only two people there, or they're not going to care that there's only one person there, because what's happened for them is they've just gone from having a group experience to a one-on-one private experience. So how special are they going to feel? Well, you need to get out of your head and think that, they're going to think it wasn't popular because they were the only ones that signed. No, they think it's a bonus because they were the only ones that signed up, because now they're getting a private session with you, a private 2-hour workshop with you, or whatever it is. How cool is that? Like, they just hit the jackpot. Anyway, so this is why you want to launch. You need to understand your numbers, okay? So follow the plan, get your numbers. Over deliver in your free workshop, make the invitation for anybody who's interested, and that's all you have to do, right? You're just saying, as we're coming to the end of the workshop, or you could say, if you're like me and you've got a workshop that goes for 3 days or something, in the middle of it, you might say, hey, I hope that you're loving it so far, and I just wanted to let you know, for any of you who are interested, or if people have been asking, you could say, for those of you who've been asking, I'm fielding a few inquiries at the moment, so I just thought I'd share it here. But yes, there is an opportunity to work with me, and we've got this program, and you can come along and join it, and blah, blah, blah. I'll be sharing some more information about it later on, or I'll go and add some information about it into your portal, and you can go and have a look at it later. Do you know what I mean? So you're only ever inviting the 2 people out of every 100 that want to come and work with you, right? So for the other 98, don't worry about them. Just say, listen, this little announcement here is just for those of you who are interested. So if you're not, that's fine. Just scroll on and continue enjoying the workshop. But for those of you who are interested, here's the information for my workshop. So the workshop that you're going to run in a fortnight or something like that. Right? The other thing that you want to do is, of course, if you if you really love the workshop that you've created and it's something that you'd like to do, like you're wanting to move away from one-to-one sessions and you're wanting to move more to one-to-many model, then what I would do is I would keep repeating. I would just rinse and repeat your launch and do what I'm doing, like document everything and make it better. Like just rinse and repeat, but refine. Rinse, refine, repeat. That's probably the best way I could say it, actually. Rinse, refine, repeat. No, that doesn't make any sense. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, take what you've done, make it better, and then do it again. And keep doing that. And that's how you're going to get better at this. So, and don't expect amazing results the first few times that you do it, because you're learning, right? You're not an expert yet. You're not Marie Folio from B School, right? You're not Jenna Kutcher. You're not, what's her name? Kate. I can't remember. I want to say Kate. I was going to say Kate Blanchett. You're not Kate Blanchett. Caitlin, whatever her name is. You're not any of those people, right? So calm down. Take the pressure off yourself. Understand that each time you do it, you will get better at it. You will make more money. You will get more clients. You will help more people. So you will have more visibility, more impact, more revenue with each time you do it. You can't go backwards ever. Trust me, you will never ever go backwards. They will only ever improve because you're refining every single time. Okay. So if you're somebody who wants to keep doing the workshop that you've created and you really love it and you believe in it and all that kind of stuff, instead of just running it once in a blue moon, put it in your diary to run it fortnightly. So run it twice a month. Run a different workshop on the alternate fortnights or something like that. Get in the habit of launching, debriefing, improving. Launch, debrief, improve. And before you know it, you will have set your practice up to have gone from making most of the revenue from the one-to-one model over to a one-to-many model, doing something that you really enjoy doing that adds value to the lives of your clients and adds money to the practice, which will mean that you get your time back, which will mean that you can stop stressing, which means that you can let go of feeling pressure to fill your diary with one-to-one clients and all those kinds of things, for example, if that's where you are. So yeah, that's why you haven't been getting, it's the absence of launching is why you haven't been getting the sign-ups or the sales that you've been wanting, and it's why you've been feeling a bit yucky about it all. But as I said, if you're in more clients already, you have access to launch plans. You have access to training that will help you identify which is the right launch plan for you. And you've got all the templates there. So it's kind of all done for you. And as I said as well, I'm documenting everything that I'm doing in this launch around so that I can be transparent with you, so that you don't feel bad about yourself because you might be thinking, how come Brooklyn can do it and I can't? I want to show you without hiding anything exactly what it looks like, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Okay? As I always do, by the way. So that's that. So if you're listening to this podcast and you would like to come along to the free workshop, you absolutely can. I'll put the link in the show notes for you. As I said, it's totally free. If you want to upgrade, you can upgrade at any time during the workshop. You're most welcome to do that. And there are wonderful reasons why you should, like you're going to get your CPD, you'll get all the replays, you get bonus 3 calls with me for all help with your marketing for your private practice and stuff like that. So that's available to you if you want. You can join anytime as well. But we finish on Saturday at midnight. So that really is the cutoff. And then, this program doesn't open again for its next intake until 2025. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm working at the moment and I haven't started my private practice, so I'll wait. I would say, honestly, I would get in now, because I don't know if I'm going to increase the price or not. I don't know if I'm going to have these current payment plans or not. I'm going to track them this launch and see how they go, see what works and what doesn't. And I would also say it's better that you've got it in your pocket so that you can jump in and have a look when it works for you around your schedule than not having it. And if you're studying full time and you're thinking, well, I haven't opened yet, or I've opened, but I don't have any clients yet, so I'll wait until I've got clients and then I'll do it, or I'll wait until I finish my course and then I'll do it. Again, I'd probably say you've got things flipped around the wrong way. You need to be marketing your practice for 90 days minimum before you open. What I see happen a lot of the time is when I'm working with people, they did it the opposite way. They opened first and then they were like, oh, yikes, I don't have any clients. Brooklyn, it's been 6 months. I still don't have any clients. And now we're having to reverse engineer everything for them, versus the clients of mine who say, I'm going to open in January, then I'm saying to them, well, you need to start marketing then in October if you want to open in January, so that you open and you've got a fully booked diary. They're the ones that it's all smooth sailing and it's successful and all that kind of stuff. So I would say if you're studying now is the best time for you to jump into a program like More Clients for a number of reasons. I think the first and best reason is because you're already in the state of mind of learning and studying. It's much harder once you've come out of your degree or your diploma or your course and you've had a gap in terms of education for 12 months or 2 years or something to get into a course again. It's really hard. But while you're in the flow of studying, of downloading things, of going through workbooks, of implementing and stuff like that, it's just going to be so much easier for you. So I would say for that reason, definitely do it, but also so that you know exactly what's ahead of you so that you can plan and get this stuff done before you open, so that you open to clients. Because trust me, if you open your practice and you've only got a couple of clients, or the practice isn't set up the right way, or you don't know where the next client is coming from, you're going to be scrambling. You'll be doing so many different things. You'll exhaust yourself, and then you'll say, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, and what am I missing? And you'll be relying on other people's opinions about what you should be doing, and it just get really overwhelming. And and you start to lose track of things. You just like, I just want to help people. And you can help people, and I know that's what you want, but you can't help them if they're not there to help, right? So if you're working full-time or studying full-time, they're not reasons to not get the help now. Also, the More Clients program is self-paced, on demand. You can get into the portal any time of the day or night. And you can work through the stuff, and you can submit your work in the group for feedback and for help and for guidance. There are coaching calls or class calls twice a year. They go for 8 to 10 weeks each. So you can come along to those. If you can't make them, that's okay. You can submit questions. They'll be answered on the call, and you can grab the replay. So there's so many ways for you to get support and help. So I just wanted to share that with you for those of you who are interested. And as I said, I'll put the link to the free workshop below so you can come along, check it out, join, get the resources. So the resources that I've got for you, if I just jump into the guides section of the Mad About Marketing Facebook group. So in guide 1, you've got pre-work. So I'm showing you there's a little video there onto how to log into your member portal and get all of your goodies. There's pre-work there on how to identify the right client for your practice before we start teaching you about the marketing, because without that, this is going to be really hard. So if you're one of these people that says, I don't believe in niches, this is not going to work for you. You are not the right person for this program. Don't bother coming, because without understanding who it is that you're trying to call in, you're not going to be able to, well, you can, but it's just going to take you like 10 times as long. And why would you do that to yourself? If you're open-minded and you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't want a niche because I don't want to, what do people say? I don't want to deny anyone a service. You're not denying anyone a service. Like, you can take whoever inquires with you or whoever books in. It's up to you whether or not you want to work with them, okay? You don't have to deny anyone a service at all. The only times that you wouldn't work with someone is if you're not competent in supporting them with the challenge that they're presenting with, right? So if they're wanting support around borderline, but you've done no training on working with borderline, you wouldn't see that person. Or if they're coming to you for grief and loss, but you don't have any training in grief and loss, you're not going to work with that person, right? So of course, you're only ever working with people who are in your competence and in your area of expertise. But niching doesn't mean denying people a service, okay? Niching means you're letting people that are right for your practice, in accordance with your interests, in accordance with your competencies, know that you're there and available to help them, okay? So that's why it's so important that we've got this. But if you're closed off to that, I can't help you. This is not going to be a workshop for you. If you're open, then yes. The other thing in the pre-work is There's threads there for asking questions on the things that you'll be learning over the coming days. Day 1, you're learning all about discovery calls or inquiry calls. You're going to get a blueprint that I'll give you for them, and you're going to get a call script, right? On day 2, day 2, you're learning how to get more bookings in your private practice, right? So you're going to get a planner that will help you with this. You're going to get templates, and you're going to get sales templates, right? I've done them all for you, and they're all free. They're all here. On day 4, you're going to get a strategy that will help more clients book calls with you. All right, that is done for you there. Throughout the workshop, you've got opportunities to, of course, win prizes. So you win prizes in a couple of ways. One of the ways is to share your progress or your breakthroughs or your wins with us. Another way is to, once you've created results, like with the discovery call, right? I'm giving you a blueprint so you can set one up. If you then go and share your new discovery call on your social media and you use a special hashtag, you're going to go in the running to win more prizes, things like that, because I want to really recognize people who are implementing, right? Because it's the implementation that's going to get you the result. So there's some of the things that are happening. I think there's like 7 free resources, and the total value of all of those resources is something ridiculous. Plus you're getting the live trainings all free. Okay. So that's 3 hours of live trainings as well, where we're going to get on the call together. I'm going to show you exactly how to set all of this up and implement it. By the end of the week, you're going to, if you implement things, have set up and installed processes for your business that will help you grow your audience so you get the numbers, so that when you come to launch things, you will get more clients, but also grow your income and your revenue by getting you more bookings. And it's my pleasure. It's my absolute total pleasure to be able to create this for you. You also get, I've pulled everything together and put it in one big workbook for you. I don't have the workbook up in Canva at the moment, but last time I checked, I think the workbook was almost 100 pages. I printed it off and it just looks amazing. It's like such a beautiful workbook. I'm so proud of it. For those of you who are thinking, oh, it's not for me right now, that's totally fine. I will be bundling all of this up and selling it later on, like once we've finished. So you'll be able to buy the complete workshop with all of the goodies and the recordings of the live trainings. I don't know what I'm going to be selling it for yet, but I will make that available for those who can't come now or who don't feel it's for them right now and who might want to grab it later. So don't worry, I've got you covered there as well. Okay. So next time I speak to you, it will be Wednesday, and I'll give you so our Wednesday editions of the Private Practice Podcast are actionable bite-sized tips and strategies that you can use in your practice. So you'll have that. And then on Saturday, it's going to be another episode. If you have anything that you want me to speak about, of course, let me know, and I can absolutely do an episode for you. I will also give you a quick rundown of how the launch is going, because Saturday is the last day, so I'll have lots to reflect on. I think it's just really important that you understand what a launch is, why you need to have one, how it helps your business, and how you grow, because nobody teaches you this stuff, but I'm going to teach you this stuff so that you can create the type of lifestyle that you want, because your practice is a practice, right? It's a business, but it's also got to give you what you really want. So for me, as you know, it's time, but for others of you, well, for me, it's been time and money lately, because as you know, my expenses have gone up considerably. So for you, it might be time and money, or it could be authority, or it could be visibility, or think about, is it more holidays that you want to take? Do you want to upgrade the car? Do you want to upgrade your computer? Like, think about what you want the business to give you, because the business should be working for you. I know a lot of the people that are in my world, they're kind of working for their business. The scales are tipped in favor of the business. We want to correct that so that it's pretty much equal. You should be giving to the business with your time and your energy, but you should also be receiving from the business. Okay, so start thinking about, what do you want the business to be giving you more of that it's not giving you yet, and how could you make this happen, right? It's just something to think about. But I will leave it there for today. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. I hope that this was interesting. I hope that it's helpful for you to hear some of the insights about, what private practice is really like. And I hope that, getting the transparency and the realness and the rawness and the honesty is helpful as well, because I just don't want you to feel like you must be doing something wrong if you're not getting the results. Because that's not the truth. That's not reality. If you're not getting the results, it's because of two things. Either there's a knowledge gap, so you just don't know what you don't know, and that's where I come in, or there's a skills gap, which is you need to do something like launch, but you just don't have the skills to launch, and that's where my programs come in. So does that make sense? Anyway, thank you so much. Have a beautiful Saturday, everyone, and I'll see you in the Wednesday edition. Bye. I really hope that you got so much enjoyment, value, and insights out of this episode today. And if you did, please feel free to go ahead and leave a review. When you leave a review, it means that more therapists can access this help and support and tools to support them in their private practice and in their journeys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Have a gorgeous day.